Welcome, welcome. We are with Dennis Montgomery here. He is an incredible wholesaler. How many wholesale deals have you done?
150 plus.
He's done over 150 wholesale deals, but we're going to crank it back and go to your very first wholesale. So we are going to walk through Dennis's very first wholesale.
Yeah, that was exciting. That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, so we're going to talk about how he found the deal, who he sold it to, how he sold it, how much money he made, all that kind of fun stuff. So if you are interested in wholesaling or getting invested in real estate at any level, this is a great video to watch. Why do you think, Dennis, most people start out wholesaling as opposed to, apartments or flipping? Why do you think most people start wholesaling?
Money. Same reason why I did it. It didn't cost me anything to do my first deal. I made $10,000 really fast.
You're supposed to say that to the end.
I'm going to tell you later how much I made.
I'm
but
kidding.
$10,000 really fast.
Yeah, 10 grand. And
it didn't cost me anything, and it took me like 30 seconds.
Yep, there you go. So that's what wholesaling can do. And this is a great, I always say this, but I want to reiterate, it's a great skill to learn. Even if your end goal is rentals or fixing and flipping, learning how to wholesale, you're going to come across so many houses that you don't want to rent or don't want to flip. So learning how the wholesale process works and what it is, you're going to make a lot of money on that if you're planning on investing in real estate.
Absolutely.
Do you concur?
I do.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about, where were you in your life when you were wholesaling? You obviously weren't a full-time investor in real estate, correct?
No, I was actually a full-time property manager. I just jumped into that less than a year prior to that, back in 2014, 15. Yeah.
Man, you were young back then.
Oh, man. Hey, actually, you were one of my clients that I didn't know.
There you go.
Your very first rental.
I remember, yeah. Your property management company you worked for sucked. Most of them do.
Hey, I didn't say that.
Don't say the name.
I won't.
They didn't suck that bad. But
I
anyways.
don't work there. I didn't own it either.
I know. All right, so you're working property manager, so you're involved in real estate. You had a full-time gig,
Yep.
but you knew you wanted to go full-time in real estate eventually, outside of work for somebody else, kind of doing your own thing, making your own deals.
Yeah, so I went into property management because I wanted to get out of the corporate America. I wanted to get into real estate, and that was an easy ticket in. And then I met another wholesaler that came in, and he showed me his JV agreement, joint venture agreement, that he made like $3,000 on something that I did all the work on, and it got me intrigued, and that's how I ended up.
So what's a joint venture agreement?
So basically, you're finding the seller, usually another wholesaler or agent, and you're finding the end buyer, and you're just being the middleman. And so you aren't the one holding the contract. You aren't the one signing the end contract. You just have an agreement in the middle that they're paying you for your services.
So you're kind of the second middleman. The wholesaler is the middleman. The wholesaler is the person that finds the seller, finds the buyer, connects them, get paid. Sometimes the wholesaler finds a buyer and then somebody else has to find the seller. That's what JV is. Either way, you can get in the middle, so you can get a little bit of money in between there. So you saw that. You saw he made $3 grand, without really doing anything. So you decided to make your own deal, because this wholesale deal we're talking about, you found it, you sold it, you did everything on the wholesale side.
I was
right?
a property manager, so I knew the seller and I knew the end buyer. They were both clients, and then somehow some wholesaler got in between and sold one of their houses to the other, and I was like, wait a second, I did the pictures, I did the walkthrough, why am I not the one? I'm making like $300 a month on this property. So
here's what you did. So you decided to get your own deal. So talk about how you found your first wholesale deal, because most people think they have to spend a bunch of money on advertising, do Google AdWords, SEO. You don't do any of that for wholesaling. You buy more than anybody, almost houses from zero advertising. So talk about how you came across this first deal.
So this one, at the time I went to a meetup group. I don't remember which one I met this wholesaler at. Actually, I don't even remember the wholesaler's name, but I remember him saying, I told him I had clients that were, I managed their properties. And he called me and said he had a house under contract in Florissant, Missouri. And I went and took a look at it, took pictures of it. I called another investor. I told him how much I was asking for it. I told him what I said the seller was selling it for. He agreed to that price based on the pictures I sent him. I went back, locked it up with the original wholesaler or investor that brought it to me for a $10,000 difference. And I got a check at closing literally for $10,000. And it took me what I would have been doing anyway, driving to the house, taking pictures.
So you didn't spend any of your own money.
Right.
You just kind of connected the dots because you're willing to put yourself out there. I talk about all the time going to these local meetups. We have
Absolutely.
We have the best one in town, but there's a ton in almost any market. There's going to be a local meetup and they're starting to meet in person again. And that's literally where you find contractors, wholesalers, real estate agents, investors, bankers, hard money, everybody you need to find, including people that you can buy and sell houses to and from. Just by going out there and connecting the dots, you literally made $10,000. And back at that, well, $10,000 is a lot of money even now, but that's a lot, especially back then.
It was actually my largest JV. Most of my JVs are $3,000, $5,000 when I was doing it on my own, but that was the largest one that I had done, and it was my first one. So
$10,000. That's impressive. Just for connecting the dots and just kind of putting yourself out there, going to that meetup.
Yeah, and the joint venture agreement, really all it says is, 123 investor is selling a house to 345 investor for X amount of dollars and agrees to pay me, which was Denmont Investments at the time, $10,000 at closing. And then it's signed by the seller, it's signed by me, it's turned into the title company, and it's considered a bill that gets paid off of the HUD.
And you got I see the numbers here on my sheet. You got it under contract or whatever for 50 grand,
right.
You sold it for 60 grand. So the person that sold it to you for 50 grand is happy, they made money. The person that bought it for 60 grand is ecstatic because they got a good deal. They looked at, they analyzed it. They're going to either flip it and make money, or they're going to turn it into a rental and make money. Right. So everybody wins in this situation, and you have to make $10,000.
Yeah. Now I know that the end buyer was not happy when he found out I made $10,000 because I knew him, but who cares?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a mindset thing. We know you buy houses from people that make 30 grand, but then we go ahead and make 20 or 30 on top of it. Who cares? As long as it's our due diligence to see where we need to be.
I want everybody making as much money as possible.
Yep,
So.
it's a win. Can be a win-win-win for everybody. So I love that. So let's talk about a couple of lessons learned, and then we're going to get to Maisie's joke of the day, which you don't even know what it is. Don't look at it.
I'm not looking at the joke.
Okay.
So it better make me laugh.
They're dad jokes. They're not that funny. So lessons learned. A couple of them I would say is just going to those meetups, right? Putting yourself out there, not just joining a Facebook group, which you should do, but physically driving to a club where you might not know anybody and put yourself out there.
Yeah, so I would say that is a big lesson. But two is that I saw it and I didn't understand it, so I asked the questions of the people that could explain it. Which was actually Corey, who used to work at Faster House. I ran into him. He explained that whole situation. And this is legal, it's ethical, so I did it like the next week.
Don't be afraid to ask questions and go and put yourself out there, because wholesaling is a very, very simple concept. The people that do the deals are the people that put in the work. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and if you could find somebody that's looking for houses that doesn't have the time to look for them physically, those are golden people to be able to assign stuff to, because they're not going to go out and they're not going to scrub Facebook, they're not going to scrub Craigslist, they're not going to go to these meetups. And then you go to these meetups where these guys that are hustling to find these deals, they are spending their time finding the deals. They're not necessarily spending their time finding the buyers. So
I like it.
So
how much? So I like that. So what should everybody on here do, Dennis? Do you have any idea what the people behind the camera should do?
Take action. Go into these meetups.
I was going to say subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Hey, you're already subscribed. I already know you've clicked because you saw my face.
But yeah, subscribe, like, follow. We do this kind of stuff all the time. So anyways, talk a little bit. Yeah, like go to the meetups. Give them some advice for a brand new wholesaler.
Yeah, go to these meetups. Ask questions. You can never ask enough questions. Read, but don't over-analyze the situation. I talked to so many guys that they've been studying for 3 months on wholesaling, and they haven't actually pulled the trigger on anything. I learned on like the first of a month, say, and by the 10th of the month, I had this deal done because I just wanted to jump in. I found it, and it's really that quick. You just have to take action. Learn as you go. I had no idea what title company to use. I had no idea how to write a JV, but each of those steps came after I got the deal going.
I love it. That makes a ton of sense. All right, so Maisie joke today. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? Oh, yep. So Dennis, I asked my dog, my new dog Bonnie, what 4 minus 4 was. You know what she said?
Nothing.
You got it. How'd you know it? Get it?
It's a dog.
Because she didn't say anything, but 4 minus 4
But it made me laugh.
But 4 minus 4 is nothing. So it was the right answer because she didn't say anything. You get it? 4 minus 4 is nothing.
I got it. Just
All right.
right over my head.
Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Catch us on the next one. Make sure to subscribe. We give away a lot of great free content all the time. See you on the next one.
See you.